So, in looking into satanic celebrity influence, I actually found an artist that I'm quite familiar with personally. I enjoy a good bit of his music. I found an interview where he was opening up pretty candidly about Aleister Crowley being a large influence in his music, and not only just his music, but he talks about in the music industry as a whole, kind of going into that. So the artist I'm talking about is Absol. If anyone out there knows who he is, you'll know that he's kind of esoteric in his lyrics and in the way that he writes his music. One of the songs that I'm fond of, there's a line in it, and this is almost out of place, out of reference to anything else going on in the song, but he says a line, and I may paraphrase here, I'm not sure if I'm going to get it exactly 100%, but it's ain't nothing wrong with a righteous man, ancient ways of Sumerians, right? There's some weird stuff, and that kind of like thematic throughput exists in a lot of his music. So it doesn't necessarily surprise me that I was able to find him opening up so candidly on occultic and esoteric influences, but it is interesting to me that it is as open. He is as open as it was, because we tend to find people that are involved in this type of influence in their life tend to be pretty closed off about it in a way.
Like a satanic influence?
Sure enough.
They're not shouting it from the rooftops.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a subversive thing. Crowley.
Yeah, he's on Hot New Hip Hop, which is not a slack of a show. They have quite a lot of big names on. They're a very legitimate show in terms of hip hop content.
Pastor Blacklip, TDE, Hot New Hip Hop. I'm all about getting to the root of things, and Mr. Crowley has been instrumental throughout.
He pronounces the name Crowley.
Crowley.
Is that a common pronunciation? Because I've always heard Crowley.
I've always heard Crowley as well.
Led Zeppelin, the Beatles. There's a lot of great artists that, are the building blocks for even hip hop. So,
I like his sweater. He looks like the dude. He looks like the Big Lebowski,
digging into his story and,
That's true.
understanding why he's been so, relevant and influential in music culture. I think it was important for me to, reinstill that. If you didn't know that, if you missed that part, you know what I mean? If you missed that part of the culture of music in general, this beyond hip hop, but just music in general, he's had a big influence on the culture. At first sight, he's the wickedest man alive, right? That's what he's a very wicked man. But if you dig into the poetry and you read,
and that's
between
how
the lines of his poetry,
Crowley is described as like the wicked man or the most wicked man.
Make more sense to you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it made a lot of sense with me. A lot of the things that he discusses resonates with me.
Like an epithet for him almost.
This, my album is called "Do What Thou Wilt," and it's based off. It's influenced by Crowley's "The Book of the Law."
No,
Thelema.
The Book of the Law, Thelema.
Love is the only law. Love under will. The law is.
That was a philosophical movement that Crowley founded.
That's the only commandment that Jesus.
It still has, and I don't want to. It's not necessarily like active practicers, because the philosophy behind it doesn't necessarily require you to practice it, but it's still adhered. There's adherence around the world to that philosophy still today.
And even "Do What Thou Wilt" itself, free will is what it kind of sounds like, right? So, all of these, just me, into theology and into history and these
he's saying a whole lot without saying much.
Which is, I'm gonna be honest with you, kind of one of the. Crowley was a master of that too. a lot of the people that adhere to him seem to be very, very good at that. And I think I want to say there's a reason for it. I want to say it's like doublespeak almost happening that we're not privy to. There's like there's messages inside of that we're not catching almost.
Well, it's like an admission. It's like a reluctant admission almost, or that, or he just talks like that. Like it sounds like a basketball player after the game. Well, we played hard, and we played good, and it's all about teamwork, and we played hard, and
No
I was
doubt.
influenced by this, and it spoke to me, and I was influenced by it. That kind of a thing.
No doubt. And he is even lyrically he can be kind of wordy. He can be kind of long to the tooth about things. You know what I mean? So it may just be the way he talks too, but I found that kind of diciness, that kind of caginess prevalent amongst when you find like Thelema being mentioned anywhere in mainstream reference.
Hi, this is Gavin with Dark Dial. If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps us out as a channel, and it helps you find us a whole lot easier. We're going to be live Friday nights, 6 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Central, talking about all sorts of topics like this, and we're taking calls too, so have your phones ready.